Hello, my people. Happy Tuesday, and it is time for decoding the ET Wealth newspaper. So, before we begin, let me wait for a few to join. Bang at 10 a.m. So, while I wait for others, let me show you how the paper looks. So, this is the ET Wealth that we decode this week, and it is from August 10th to August 16th. So that's the weekly newspaper that we decode every Tuesday. So hello, I can see some of you are in. Could you just acknowledge that you are here? You could just say hi, hello. Got that, Pooja? Great you after so long. So amazing. Morning. Who else is here today? Melody, welcome. So amazing to see my old friend join in. Thank you. Hey Vinita, welcome. Anybody else who's joined in, please acknowledge your presence. Hey Preeti, Rutuja, good to see you. Shriya, morning. Sarabjeet, good morning. Hey Vinita, welcome. Got that. So we have two Vinitas today in our decoding. Meenal, good morning. Okay guys, so it's amazing to have some acknowledgements coming in right in the morning, and let's begin. So today let me begin directly from page number 11. Hey Hira, Priyanka, welcome. Okay, so I am beginning today from page number 11, and this is what it says. Stories that investors love to tell. So, I'm sure all of you have heard so many stories from our colleagues, friends, family, where they will say, oh, they bought a certain property Y number of years ago and they bought it at X price, and today it is X plus Z. So how many of us have heard so many different stories? Just say yes in the chat box. It could be a family member who bought a property and today it has multiplied, or it could be a colleague who must be sharing that how his probably stocks have increased in value, or the mutual funds that he selected have grown leaps and bounds. So anybody who has heard such stories, just say yes. Okay, Kavneet. Who else? Namita, Rakhi, welcome guys. Who else? Got that? Sita, good to have you here. Beautiful. Okay, Preeti has also heard such stories. Vinita. Hira is saying many. Pooja. Got that. Beautiful, guys. So we've all heard such stories. Got that, Rutuja? Always about properties. Yes. And in this article on page number 11, okay, Uma Shashikant, and I really look up to her, she's talking about how there is so much bragging which might be happening around us, and we may be losing touch with what we really need to be seeing. Because it's not that they did not have failures, but those failures are just not being talked about. Everybody who's succeeding with money at the same time has failed with money. But those failures are not shared. And there are different reasons for why they are not shared. And in this article, she's talking about how there is a need for all of us to go beyond the success stories. And she's mentioning how it's important that we need to look at how well diversified are we. Like, that's an important part of this article that she is sharing, and I'm decoding it for all of you, because she's also sharing how people often complain to her that she doesn't give them action points. And Uma is also saying that, she often doesn't understand that complaint. I mean, why not share different stories and help people learn through stories? Basically, that's her style of writing, and she keeps meeting people and she keeps coming up with stories that she shares every week. And this week also she's sharing stories where she's saying how different people love to tell about their success stories, and how it is important for investors like us is to go beyond those stories and really look at how well are we diversified in our portfolio. How are we really allocating amounts of money into different asset classes, and each investment that we are making, how is it linked to our goals? So she's mentioning about that, and we do exactly this in our Money Gym program, which is a personal finance blueprint. So for all of you who've been attending, you guys know how important it is to kind of keep a track of your financial worth and notice how much, where you are investing and how that's linked to your goal or not. Because most of us do random investments, and those random investments really do not work for us. So let me read a few paragraphs from this article which really connected with me. So before I begin, any one of you who read this article on page number 11, just say yes if you have read it, or no if you haven't, which is fine too. Yeah, just say yes, just say no. Okay, nobody read it? You could say no, it's fine. Okay, Rutuja has read this article. Got that, Rutuja? Rutuja, you may want to start typing in what you learned from this article, because this is an important article to go through. Who else? Who else read this article? Just say yes, no. Okay, Sarab, you also read it. Got that? So please start typing what you've learned. Okay, it's critical that we acknowledge what we are learning. Got it, guys? So now I'm reading a few paragraphs that really connected with me here. So she's saying that, got that, Vinita, Gunjan, good to have you. Okay, so she's mentioning that none of the grand ideas that we columnists believe are important. And it's mostly the investors who own their who own these stories with pride, and they live to tell them. So these well-known principles aren't what drives investment decisions either. They may come in and form part of some explanation, but the main hero of the story is the investor, and the smart and superb things they did to steer the finances into successful paths. So this is what she's saying, and one of the aspects that I loved here is that our investment lives have these interesting stories that keep us going. I don't recall anyone telling me with similar pride that their asset allocation strategy is what helped them with retirement, or that their portfolio is well diversified for risk, or that their managers are delivering better returns in falling markets, or that their child's education was funded because of meticulous saving. So look at where she's pointing and where often we investors go. I mean, we go and we love to tell our stories, our success stories, but actually where the intelligence lies is somewhere else. So she's mentioning here that how asset allocation strategy is important and how that can help us with, say, a retirement goal. Number one. Number two, how a portfolio which is well diversified can take care of risks. How managers, if you have many crores, then definitely you need managers to manage that money, and look at how those managers are delivering better returns in falling markets. And how another goal which is critical for most of us is our kids' higher education, and how is that funded with great saving habits. So look at it. She's talking about asset allocation, diversification, risk management, goals, saving habits, like all 5 in this one paragraph. So this is really the power of this entire article, is how I read it. And most of us often forget. I mean, of course, if you are the investors in the Women on Wealth community, you've done our paid programs, then you definitely know what I'm talking about. And most of us who are outside our community, if you're listening, we often do not take care of these things because we do not have the tools. Like, yeah, we may know this in theory that we need to diversify and we need to have different asset classes in our portfolio, etc. However, practically we don't know how to do that. So it's critical that we all begin to learn how this is done and actually base our success stories from here, because this is where true success lies for an investor. Because we often talk about intelligent investing, conscious investing in our community, and guys, this is where it actually begins. So please start sharing. What are you learning here from the first article that we have decoded? Please start writing. What are you learning? Because it's critical that if you have come for this decoding live, you learn simultaneously. We are all about upskilling for women, financial education for women. So I'm waiting. Start typing. What have you learned from this first article's decoding? And by the way, everyone needs to write, okay? It's not the 4 or 5 people who will write. Everybody start writing, okay? Because you're here investing your time. It's important that you begin to articulate what you're getting. Preeti is sharing that she's getting the importance of diversification. And that cannot be overemphasized. Got that, Preeti? Preeti, what I want to know from you, do you have a practical tool which can help you see that you are well diversified and you're reaching your goals? Do you have a practical tool to do that? Kavneet, upskill yourself with money management. Absolutely, Kavneet. Got that. Beautiful. Okay, some more people, start typing, start articulating. What are you learning? What have you learned from this one article that we've decoded? I ain't going to move forward. Yeah, Rutuja, beautiful. So we need to understand and we need to go beyond those stories. Beautiful. Got that. Be mindful about investing, Pooja says. Starting small first and then planning big once you get a knack of it. Yeah, absolutely. Got it. So be mindful about investing. Start small. Then plan big. Beautiful, Pooja. Absolutely. What else? We have to be organized in our investments. Keep a track of them, and most important, yes, build the skills. Absolutely. And guys, the money you make in your investments is directly proportional to the skills you build. So absolutely, it's the financial skills that you build that help you reach your goals. Got that, Sarabjit? Beautiful. Who else? What did you learn? Or is it only Preeti, Kavni, Rutuja, Pooja and Sarabjit? Only 5 of us have learned something, others didn't get anything. Guys, please start acknowledging. Yeah, we should share and learn from the wrong investment experiences. Got that, Priyanka? Absolutely. Do you have any community, Priyanka, or any group where you could safely share this? Because this is not an easy thing to do. Yeah? And if we want to practically do this, then we need a safe space, a safe environment to be doing this. So, do you have one, Priyanka? Okay, guys, who else? What else did you learn? Okay. Vinita has learned diversification. She's saying don't keep all your eggs in one basket. Got that? Okay. Last few seconds, guys, before I move on to the second article. Sure, Neelu, that's who we are. We're a community. Everybody just comes in together. Got it, guys. So I now move on to the second article. And in this second article, there is an interview on page number 9. On page number 9, there is an interview of Neil Parag Parekh. And he's the chairman and the CEO of Parag Parekh Fund Asset Management Company. It's a mutual fund house and they run some successful mutual funds. So they are here talking about a transparent approach of a mutual fund house and how that has a positive impact on investment behavior. And despite the recent volatility, I mean, we all know how the stock market went down by 30-35% in March and it has bounced back now. So he's talking about how investors, despite volatility, just kept on investing in their funds. And the most important part that I want to decode for all of you here is that he's talking about his investment strategy. So actually it's important when you are studying mutual funds, when you are researching mutual funds, you also get what is their investment strategy and who is the fund manager there. It's a critical part. And guys, all of you who have done the Money Gym program here, you've almost done all this that I'm going to talk about. So you will, I think, connect better with this thought. So Neil here is saying that they've been following their investment discipline, processes and philosophy for more than 20 years. So now that's how old this fund house is. And there is a lot of conviction and confidence he's talking about in his investment approach. And he's saying that that has always been high for them. And what's that? That's protecting the downside and giving a reasonable upside has been the strategy. And they followed it successfully for the last 2 decades, which is 20 years. And how they've been diversifying is amazing. Like they've been diversifying across sectors, across market caps, which means across different sizes of companies. And the third is across geography. So if you are our Money Gymmers who've done the our Money Gym program, you would know that Parag Parekh run this strong multi-cap fund. And in that multi-cap fund, not only do they invest across sectors and across the different sizes of companies, but they're also spreading across US, Japan. So they're investing in companies there as well. And it's important as investors that we not only diversify in sectors and market caps, but also geographies. And like I always said, always have a long-term view if we are investing in equities. And that's what this fund is about. So he's talking about another part of the strategy where he's saying that we were sitting on around 12 to 13% cash when the sharp correction happened in March. We completely deployed our cash reserves by April, and we are currently sitting on around 6% cash. So that's what he's talking about, how earlier what kind of cash he was sitting on, and then how he invested it, or they invested it, the fund house invested it, and now this is the kind of cash that they're sitting on. Here's another important part that he's talking about in this article. And guys, if you're not getting something, please make sure you type it here, and so that I can decode it further. My intention is to simplify as much as I can, and I will simplify more. So he's saying, since the beginning we have believed that having overseas diversification is significant because it reduces country specific risk, it reduces portfolio volatility, balances the portfolio nicely, and gives us access to innovative companies and sectors where there are no Indian equivalents. Kudos to our investment management team for their conviction in stock selection and meaningful allocation to our best ideas. So here he's talking about how when you are diversifying overseas, it reduces a country specific risk, and it reduces the volatility of your portfolio, the ups and downs in your portfolio, the downside risks in your portfolio it reduces, and it balances the portfolio, and it gives you access to innovative companies and sectors which may not be there in India right now. So that's how he's talking about the fund, the mutual fund. And guys, for all of you who don't know, mutual funds are made up of stocks. I've been repeating that. So it's critical that we understand the stock market and how it functions, what are the different sectors, what are the different companies, their sizes, how do you select them, and then can you understand, okay, how is really the investment strategy of a fund house is. So yeah, Ekta, welcome. So guys, can you start typing? What are you now getting about this mutual fund specifically, or about anything, any learning for your own mutual fund portfolio? I'm just looking at some of the chats that I may have missed. Meanwhile, please start typing. What did you learn from this second article? Okay, got that. Bindu, Sonal, Priyanka, Sarabjit, Preeti, read your messages. I'm glad you guys typed it. So guys, please start sharing. What are you learning? What have you learned from this article that I just decoded on mutual funds for you?